Just 2 weekends left in the 2022 fall season at Churchill Downs. Joe Christopher and Scott Shapiro joining you. And Scott, the featured race on Saturday is the Grade 3 Chilukki one-turn mile for the older females. A race won last year and scintillating off the pace fashion by obligatory. No obligatories in this year's field, but a very competitive race nonetheless.
I think so, Joe. Pretty fun race. 7 rivals if everybody goes to post and no one is scratched. And I think there's some pace, but not a ton of it. So it should be an honestly run race.
Yeah, I mean, I think the horse that's going to make the lead undoubtedly almost is Center Isle. I don't think she's very good, quite honestly. So she's important to the race because she's probably going to assure a somewhat honest pace over the one-turn mile. I'm looking for a horse in the chasing queue to probably get the job done here.
Yeah, me as well. I agree. Center Isle stretching out to 8 furlongs. Should be on the lead. I think she's okay. She's 5 for 11. She's kind of beaten up on field a little bit lesser than this one. If they let her go a little bit too slow, maybe she's a little bit dangerous, but I'm with you. I prefer a horse that should be in that second flight.
Been a great year, a banner year, in fact, for trainer Phil Bauer and owner Richard Rigney. Played hard. Capelia last weekend winning the Dream Supreme. A couple of others that have had big years for them. Scratch Cat, Warrior Johnny. They've got Miss Princess entered here, Scott, and she's, been 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs, last 2 races over a mile and a 16th. You look at her form and her running style, and you would think that the one-turn mile, a trip that she's never run over as of yet, would be perfect for her.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of this daughter of Go Zapper dating back to last year when she rattled off 2 straight wins. The Churchill Downs first level allowance win was eye-catching, and then she ran very well in the $150,000 Mistletoe at Oaklawn Park, and then was on the bench since then. Thought she ran a winning race in an allowance event at Kiel on October 29th when she broke really well. Probably a little bit of an under-aggressive ride by Martin Garcia, got caught wide, but was really just second best to La Davida, a very good-looking runner that shipped in from South America for Nacho Correas, I believe, 2 straight wins. And Mariah's Princess, like I said, was simply second best, but I don't think there's any La Davidas in here. And speaking to your point, Joe, I think the one-turn mile configuration should work absolutely perfect for her.
Brad Cox has done a really good job campaigning Coach. She was the winner of the Rags to Riches here as a 3-year-old. She's got a couple of victories in 2021 leading into 2022. Very lightly raced as an older filly, now a late 4-year-old about to turn 5, coming off a runner-up performance over 2 turns in the slop at Laurel. I'm guessing she might be the post-time favorite. She fits pretty well here as well. Where do you think she fits in?
Yeah, she'll probably be the favorite. Her or Mariah's Princess, I think, would vie for favoritism. I think the one-turn mile is an interesting question with Coach. She's been at her best over the off tracks, going 2 turns. She showed tactical foot right out of the gate in that runner-up race you mentioned in the slop at Laurel when she was no match for Battle Bling, was all in on the far turn, but grinded away a minor share. Portably is doing very well. I have my questions about whether she'll be or is as good over a fast main track. I mean, 3 of her 5 lifetime wins are over and off, going 2 seconds as well in 5 tries over and off track, but she's definitely merits major respect, and Brad Cox has been very patient with this Keeber Racing filly.
She won Battle Bling, did the turn back the alarm at Aqueduct after defeating Coach. And Scott, I think it's interesting to note Coach with Lasix, 6 starts, 4 wins in a second. Without Lasix, 6 starts, 1 win, 1 second, 2/3. Don't know if we want to read too much into that, but certainly worth bringing that up. I'm going to land here on the horse towards the outside, and She Can't Sing. Now, I know she's been running on the turf. I know she's been running 2 turns, but if you remember last year in the Chilukki, she was bet way down to 3-1 after a dominant win over 7 furlongs here at Churchill. Been a lot better horse since adding blinkers several starts ago, and she comes into this race in great form. But like I said, on the turf, I think she's going to offer a little bit of value. An interesting entry here for Chris Block. She runs back to the way she ran back in October last year, going 7 furlongs at Churchill. She's as good as anybody, and I think the value will be there.
Yeah, a horse that you've picked on top and wagered on a lot in your life. I remember how frustrated you were when she won that October 2nd race after picking her so many times. She was absolutely dominant that day, and then didn't run quite as well with out Lasix in the Chilukki. There's another horse that seems to have run better with the anti-bleeding medication, but with Coach, a lot of that is tough to figure out because usually it's against better competition because they can't use Lasix in the stakes event. So a little bit of a tricky read there, but she can't sink, should be finishing well, offers good value, and has shown an affinity for this racetrack.
She can't sing for me in the Chilukki. Scott's going to go with Mariah's Princess. I do think that she is the horse to beat. Don't forget this race, which is carded as the 10th event on the 11 race Saturday program at Churchill, part of the late pick 4. Don't forget to opt in. The Twin Spires late pick 4, hit it and split it. Hit the pick 4 if you've opted in and earn your share of the $2,000 prize pool. For Scott Shapiro, I'm Joe Christopher. Enjoy the races at Churchill Downs and the Chilukki on Saturday.